Hey guys, so today Eve and I are going to talk about quitting. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, hi Frederick, what would be the reasons you would consider for quitting a job immediately during the first 2 days? The attitude of my team and managers, like the general way that they are conducting work, I would say. Usually I'm a little bit hardier than 2 days, I would say. I I'm not as usually I don't consider myself to be much of a snowflake, but the that would be the only reason I can think of. So something that does happen, usually, which is frustrating to me, and sort of it's something that I've grown past now, I think, to an extent, because I simply don't. I've tried to make it work and it just doesn't work for me. And that is when you're dealing with either a manager or a team or something like that, that you can very clearly see that they are unmotivated to do a good job here, or there is hostility towards things that move things in like a better direction. And so it's actually been the case where I've had a conversation with the manager in a very serious manner when I've been trying to push for something where, like, at this point in my career, I'm not a junior level software developer, and when I have a conversation with a more junior experience, and they're basically trying to force us in a direction where it's going to hinder the overall productivity, I feel like I have enough to sort of present alternatives. But when that sort of falls on deaf ears because of management and so forth, then I actually had a conversation with one of them, and he actually said the words, Frederick, you are not the arbiter of good decisions. And I go, no, absolutely not. But I do know my job, and I do know when a solution is objectively moving us in the wrong direction, such as I said, when it's a conversation between someone who has almost no experience trying to push for something that isn't really, it doesn't really feel any benefit at this point. So we can invest in a lot in this, or we can focus on things that are actually going to be measurably different. And that's the sort of thing that when I'm in a team or in a group where that doesn't matter, where results aren't actually measured by anybody meaningful, or like they can't objectively, you don't have the skills within the team to figure out what good results looks like, and there's a resistance towards changing things, or you have managers who, as I said, like they have no clue whatsoever. So this was like a VP, so-called VP of engineering. He doesn't know fuck all about the work that we're doing in the team, yet he takes the side of the junior software developer in the conversation. And I go, that's okay. You want to do that? Fine. But I don't want to work in a team where decisions are being made by people who don't know what they're doing, or seem to have no knowledge or no interest in doing a good job. And as I actually said that to him, my track record on these sorts of topics is fairly good. That doesn't mean that I know everything. It doesn't mean that I'm the best or anything like that. It means that I know enough about this industry to be able to say things like, it's probably good that you have a story card system or something like it, because it doesn't work when you just write things in Slack and people keep on forgetting things. It's pretty hard to keep track of what you're supposed to do in those sorts of situations. Or when you say things like, the team isn't making a lot of headway when a individual is trying to force everybody into pair programming and constantly scheduling meetings with the team that takes hours and hours and hours and hours without producing anything meaningful. And people are unhappy about that. When you present this sort of information and you can't make any headway, or you say things such as, the code base or like the way that we are doing work here isn't really it's really not working out all that well for the company, because the people that are involved in this, they very clearly are like they're skipping all the quality checks, they're not writing any tests, they're not doing A, B, and C, and so forth and so forth. These are considered standard practices within the vast majority of IT. When I see that this is one of those situations where nobody gives a shit, or they're ignorant of the problems, that's the time that just never again. I'm not doing this anymore. So what I want you to take away from this is that the only thing that I can really think of at the top of my head that would make me quit immediately after my first 2 days, it's very unlikely, but the thing that makes me quit is when I get into an environment where I realize that the people that I work with are on the whole now incompetent, like in the sense where the code is in such a state that it will take months of work to fix the problem and so forth. You're dealing with coworkers who are like and this is what I love about Git history. I've had this conversation 100 times when I started a new team, and I talk to and like you always know it's coming. Like there comes like a whole bunch of reasons. They have tons of excuses. Oh yeah, but I'm just a consultant. Oh yeah, but I'm just this and I'm just this, and I kind of go, yeah, but the history proves differently. You have not written a single unit test. You have not even once tried to improve this process. You've done nothing at all. So like, I don't tell them this because that's impolite in my part of the world. You can't just call people on their bullshit. I would love to, but when you see that that is the case, and at the same time you see that the managers and so forth, like they're basically incompetent or ignorant of that this is the state, and like this is just it's a money pit team. That's what it is. I don't want to work with people like that. I don't want to work in a group of people who just the only thing they really truly care about is to be able to sit alone, do whatever the fuck they want without any real direction or sense of unity or like something like that, and just kind of hack away at whatever the fuck they feel like doing for the moment, and then have the company pay them just to sit and pretty much fuck around with a system that is just on a downward slope. That's not me anymore. Have a great day.